Views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Table Topics.
Good afternoon, and today we are outside on the gardens of the BCC, Bristol Community College, and thank you, Steve. He's behind the camera and he's
accommodating us again, right?
Yes, I mean we because of our schedules and meetings and everything, it's tough to get three people at the same place at the same time, but.
But yeah, it's not sunny out today, so that's a positive.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. This is the kind of weather I like. I don't like when it's too hot.
Yeah.
And I don't like when it's too cold.
Cold, all right.
But when you have two weathers in one day, two different weathers in one day, that's my perfect time.
Yeah, it was kind of warm earlier. It's all right. But yeah, this is Portugal weather,
and no rain.
This is Azor's weather.
Yes.
Would you say? Yeah, I would say it's
the winter days.
A winter day? No. Oh yeah.
This is like a winter day in Portugal.
We went in September, and it kind of there were a couple days that weren't really hot.
About that.
Yeah. So that's
about this.
That's good. I'm going to say this before we get into it is, I can say the Azores weather is probably one of the better ones, and that would be equal to San Diego here in the U.S. If you want a place that's 70 degrees most of the year, wouldn't that be the place to go?
Yeah, I will say so. Yeah. I will say so. Yeah. Definitely, what makes a big difference is no snow.
Yeah.
So,
palm trees, somewhat.
No snow.
Yeah.
Nice palm trees right outside the hotel, right?
Yeah. So that's true. Yeah, it is. That's decent weather.
So let me ask you this: I'm working on the trip for the group for next year.
Yeah.
And I looked for a couple of prices for the airline. The last week of June and the first week of July.
It's a good week.
Just because I'm thinking that at that time, a lot of people is on vacation.
Yeah.
So the kids are out of school too if they want to grab the whole family and bring them there. So you will prefer to go on the week starting on July 4th or the week before and ending on July 4th?
I'd probably say July 4th, right?
July 4th?
Yeah, because how much really?
Well, the price it's like $60 difference.
Oh, to go on July 4th?
To go on July 4th versus the last week of June. Yeah. So it's not really. It's just I need to pick a date now. I cannot go for 2 weeks.
So you'd be flying in here on July 4th? You'd be flying back to the U.S. on July 4th?
No, we will be flying there on July 4th.
Okay.
And flying back on the 12th, I think.
And the one in June is what? Flying back on July 4th?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Either way, you're missing July 4th. But I mean, you know, I guess it depends on how people that have kids. Maybe they want to stick around here on July 4th. I don't know. You know.
Well.
And how busy is it there in July?
If you had a choice to stay here for the fireworks or go there for a week.
Yeah, I don't really go see fireworks anymore because I have my dog. So I mean, I didn't go this year. I like fireworks, but I didn't go because of my dog. You know, I mean, he would have gone nuts.
I gave up going to fireworks long time ago. My daughters probably was small. And for my luck, every time that I go there a couple hours before the fireworks, I always end up sitting next to somebody who would swear for 2 hours, nonstop, and that will just aggravate the hell out of me. Yeah. I cannot say anything. My wife is pushing me back. I want to jump on that guy's throat. You know. Don't you see I have a 5 or 6, 7-year-old here?
People don't care.
You know? Yeah. So I just give up. Yeah, I said, forget about it. Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I usually would go, I wouldn't go early like that. I usually would go later. And especially in Fall River, I would go to Bicentennial Park or along that walkway there.
It's just that people don't respect others. You know? It's like they just care about themselves.
Yeah.
They don't respect others. Even worse, they don't respect young kids.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I just give
I
up.
don't like to be around a lot of people anyway. You know what I mean? Normally, if I don't have to be, only because of, you know, what you're saying, you're going to have, if there's 100 people, one person's going to be that person.
I remember the first year that was here, 1988, July 4th, I was working at the kitchen at the Leones. That was my first job.
Yeah.
And I remember when the fireworks started, the entire kitchen run outside. So I was the only one inside the kitchen. So I stick my head outside to see what was going on. And everybody was making a big deal about fireworks. And I'm like, well, the place that I came from, we have those every week. You know, every procession you have fireworks. Every feast, you have fireworks because I used to light them myself.
Yeah,
you know?
No, I know, but it's once a year here. Yeah, it is. It's only once a year here.
So
but
I
know
was
what you
like,
mean.
wow, this is that's a big thing in here.
Yeah, it is, and it's kind of funny that you mentioned it. Some places it wouldn't be. Like I went like years ago to Disneyland in California, Anaheim, and every Friday they had fireworks. So it was in the whole city. I'd seen at least that portion. So they were probably like, I'm tired of fireworks already. Every Friday stop. But,
that's exactly how I felt. But so that's why fireworks. It's not a big
deal,
call for me.
Yeah.
You know, like a parade. I will enjoy more like a parade than a firework.
Exactly.
That's what I'm missing from the Fall River Celebrates. Was
the fireworks.
Was the parade.
The parade? All right.
The parade, the concerts, you know, the different foods.
You know what? One of the best things that they had at that, and I think I might have mentioned this last time, differently though, but is that they had a Lizzie Borden tour. You went on one of those big coaches, and they brought you up to the Lizzie Borden house. You went and toured that. Then they drove you down North Main Street and told you all about the Underground Railroad, and pointed out the different properties there, and then brought you to Oak Grove Cemetery. It was like probably an hour and a half. It was like one of the best things I remember ever being there. They had it for a few years and then it kind of dropped off, but I have to say that was like one of the best. I mean, it's like being on vacation. You know, when you go on a tour on vacation, they did it very, very good job. You know,
it's something that I'm looking for the city to do something like that. You know, but we're gonna have to buy the
trolleys, right?
the trolleys, which I hope that they will fund money out of this millions of dollars.
Hopefully they will. I know
to buy a couple of trolleys.
There's a fighting match right now as to who wants to get this money. Whether it's the mayor right now spends it, or if we have a potential new mayor. I remember at one of those meetings we went to, there were a few people that stood up and said, we need to save this money for the next mayor. You know, so I was kind of like, that sounds like a political speech, but all right. But yeah, it was, you know, so you get the two factions that are trying to figure out who's going to spend that money.
Well, it's election season. You know, it's election season. John.
Yes.
Finally, on your neighborhoods, you have a new Cumberland Farms. Just opened up Saturday.
I know, huh?
So, how do you find the traffic there? That you've been around there?
I don't see any difference, to be honest with you. You know, I just drove by it today, coming down here. I don't see any difference. Actually, coming down today, I was really surprised as to how many cars were in there, or how many people were there. Looked like about 20 vehicles were in there.
Well,
so
this week it's free coffee.
Oh, all right. Well, that's
that explains. You know, people run on coffee.
Yeah, I'll have to let my daughter know. She would have been down there already about 4 times. But yeah, no, I didn't know it was free coffee, but it has been really busy there.
Yes. I just put gas on my car a couple of days ago there, just to check it inside. It's a beautiful place. It's it's all update facility. One thing that I found definitely is and I think going forward, I think the two driveway, I think is going to back up the traffic, because now remember, you have about 50 feet from the traffic light. You have the first driveway. People living. Living from inside, and then you have another from 20 feet or 30 feet from that one. You have a second one, and all dump into Stevens Street. Now you have the two driveways for the bank right across from each other.
Yeah.
And you have a crosswalk right there.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's going to be.
I know it's going to be,
Yeah.
because I was already, I think it was Monday, I was already on the line to pass the light, to go through the traffic lights, and now these cars are coming out of the driveways, and we are stuck in there.
Yeah.
We cannot go forward.
That, I mean, ever since that, you got the Walmart in there. Prior to that, it was the Sam's and the Walmart, the McDonald's. I mean, when that facility was first built, I noticed a big difference in traffic at that point. Just people going back and forth. You noticed it. I don't now. I mean, I just kind of, when I time myself, I know it's going to take me probably 10 minutes to get from my house to get right on 24 at that point. It's just because there's so many lights now.
Yes.
And especially when you get to the bottom, you got light. And so, to me, it's not making a difference for me.
So a lot of cars don't make the into the street.
Yeah.
So they kind of going to start being like sideways and kind of blocking other people from getting out. I think we're going to end up having the same problem that we have when people leave the Walmart.
Yeah.
That they already replaced 3 or 4 stop signs there.
Yeah.
They run the stop signs over all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't do the stops. They just run right in front of you. And I think we're going to end up having the same problem there. People now waiting their turn to get out of the driveway. They're just going to...
I mean, I know, I agree with you, but I think that's like a pandemic kind of thing. Ever since this thing started, people just drive like total crazies. You know what I mean?
It's just people's being like...
very impatient.
Impatient and aggravated.
Yeah.
It's... I'm been noticing that.
Yeah,
So,
it's been a big difference for the last year, and a rush to go, I don't know where, because so many people are not working, so I don't know where you're in a rush to go.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
We
had our first meeting.
Yeah, I heard you. It looked like you had a decent crowd there.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
I mean, we had some complaints that we are taking care of it. We had a motion and the request to send a letter to Bill Ken, our planner, to come next month.
Okay.
And present 2 projects people have questions about, and a lot of people, remember, a lot of these people don't listen to the channel, the government channel and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think for some of them will be the first time they actually is going to see the plan.
Yeah. What is that? Is it the bike
It's
path?
the 2 plans. No, it's the 529 Eastern Avenue. That's the new project they're going to open up. I think some people say it's a street because the development is going to be inside, so they kind of have to open the driveway or street.
Oh, okay.
Which it's the same. It's cars. It's cars coming out of a private driveway.
Okay.
That they say between St. Joseph Street and the next street. The next street there. I forget the name now. But no, I was
What, are
going
they
to say
putting new
Botwell.
houses in there or something? Or?
Yes, they're putting the inside the Notre Dame Rectory.
Okay.
Yeah, they're putting, I think, 20
Oh, wow.
apartments there.
Okay. Okay.
And then the other one is the 69 R Alden Street, which is that basement, that factory that they knock it down, and they have like a project to do like
they're going to put the
16
17
houses or
townhouse, whatever,
townhouses there.
rentals. Okay.
Yeah. So the neighbors had a lot of questions about the board. Just
It's a done deal.
yeah, I know.
done
I know
deal.
it's a done deal.
Yeah.
But we just want to somebody from the city to come and do the presentation for that.
Yeah.
Another request
Did
that we
people
did.
know that it's too late though?
Yes. Well, what I told them, it is too late for that part. That that they just rush it through, and the reason they rush it through is, if you remember, just before COVID-19,
Yep.
they canceled a couple of times.
Yep.
They tabled a couple of times.
Yep.
Then the last time that they went, that we were all there, they asked for more time.
Yep.
So they kind of tabled it again, and then last year passed.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah.
We
and
don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know when, what month, but
yeah,
went through.
Yeah. At least, I mean, you're right. You're given a summary, or they're going to get a summary of it. But I mean, unfortunately, I'm going to be somewhat negative for the next maybe minute now and say, unfortunately, what seems to happen in Fall River is that, you know, things happen. You can give input. Nobody gives input, and then when they start seeing it, they're like, "How did this happen?" You know.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I hope we can get better at that. You know, going out from the beginning and try to, you know.
What I told at the meeting was that phase, it's done. It's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Okay. Now going to the phase 2, what we can try is prove that that land is contaminated.
Yeah.
So if we can prove that the land is contaminated, it's going to cost the project a lot of money to clean up.
Yeah.
So that will make worth it to build.
Yeah.
That's the next question.
Yeah.
So, but that's something that for the next meetings.
Yeah.
And
well, I'm going to blame the councilors, city councils on this too. If we would have some kind of zoning thing, we have the site plan review, but it's very lame right now, very weak. But if they would work on that, which has been talked about for years on end, maybe these folks wouldn't just come in and be able to do whatever they wanted to, you know?
Yes.
But again, I'm going to put a little blame there because we keep on repeating the same song all the time.
And Linda has something on the table for probably a couple of years now to bring all those groups together before they issue a permit for something like that, because that doesn't depend only on one group. That has to go through traffic, has to go through, you know, a lot of different places, inspections, building inspector. So all those need to be brought together on the same table before project gets into the agenda.
I agree, because you know, when we hear of site plan review, all that entails, at least right now or in the past, was water mitigation. You know, that it's not going to be flooded anywhere. That's all it dealt with. But you kept on hearing, we have a site plan review week. So it you know, to me, it's been frustrating. I'm not going to get into it today, but it's been very frustrating that we can't get hold on that, or it's kind of like they refuse to get hold on it. And I don't understand what the issue is, but anyway.
Well, another thing too that came up was the requests. Matter of fact, I got a couple of calls on, and one was the owner, Mr. Cesar, that owns that variety store on the corner of Pleasant and Quequechan Street. He's been there for like 40 years or over 40 years, Mr. Mario Souza. So I got a call from him because he's right there. He witnessed all the accidents there on that corner. Quequechan Street into Pleasant Street, the street runs like kind of in a different angle. It's not a straight street, it's like an angle, and it's very tough to get out. Doesn't matter if you come from Alden to Pleasant or if you come from County to Pleasant. That four corner there, it's tough to get out. So he called Senator Rodriguez. Before he called me, he called Senator Rodriguez, and Senator Rodriguez told him that probably because he has that money allocated for improvements of Pleasant Street or renovations for Pleasant Street, he said, well, this could be part of the project if you move now in time to put that in for the project. So we sent a letter requesting the traffic department to take a look at that light, at that intersection there for a traffic light, and do a study for a traffic light there.
Yeah, maybe that, because you're right, it's slanted. If you want to pull out to go to the left-hand side, you probably got cars parked there. It's hard to pull out.
It's a tough corner.
Yeah, and I can imagine people coming up from Pleasant Street this way, turning on two wheels to get in there.
And a lot of times too, if you come from Pleasant Street and you want to take a left to Quequechan Street, the cars are the way the corner is, the car's already right on a corner that you kind of have to go around
Yeah.
to get inside the
Yeah.
street.
Makes sense,
You know,
yeah.
so it's a tough. So if it's a light there, that car cannot stop passing that line on the ground. Makes it easy for people
Go
to turn
around.
in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, it makes
So,
sense.
During that meeting, another problem came up on Quequechan Street. Neighbors complaining about is, I don't know if you noticed that, and I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Is when you on Quequechan Street and you meet with Alden Street.
Yeah.
It's no stop there.
No.
It's nothing. So you never know who's going to go first.
Yeah.
They both have the right to go.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but I've always looked coming out of Alden Street. I'm coming into that road, so I have to
Exactly.
slow down, stop. They have the right of way,
Yes.
but I know what you
But
mean.
some people just go.
Yeah, well, I
You know, some
yeah.
people just go. So was another request from neighbors attending the meeting if we could include a request for stop sign.
Yeah, at
On
least that.
Alden Street, on
Yeah.
the end of Alden Street. So this is what I'm thinking about with the neighborhood meetings
Yeah,
are made for is
Yeah.
for people to come and give ideas,
yeah,
ask questions, and we can try to help them. So
yeah. No, I'm glad you were able to do it. We're thinking about what we're gonna do because we can't get into the schools. So I was thinking even maybe using meeting at that new pavilion, not pavilion, but the new thing in the Southwoods up there, the fairgrounds. Even getting maybe 10, 15 people if you come, whatever, that'd be great. Kind of doing that before the the fall sets in, and so we're gonna look at that.
Yeah.
And
Well, because your group, I always attended your group because I thought that you had good things on the table to discuss all the time, and you had projects that you have been doing for years that will be nice to pick up again. I mean, I know you guys will do the giveaway from the properties
we
now
did that. Yeah, we
during
did.
the summer and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that
We can.
what COVID kind of
Yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, we had a lot of older members that have, believe it or not, a lot of older members have passed on. So, but we have a few new people that I know. If we didn't, if we did it somewhere out of the school, which we can't get in anyway, maybe that'd be a way to bring them, bring them in and then get them into the school, So,
did you try to meet at Niagara?
no, we haven't even, the schools, we figured, especially now with this whole thing coming back, I doubt we'll be able to use the schools at all.
Yeah.
So,
But if you would be able to meet at Niagara Senior Center, you will probably have those people that already attend the Senior Center there,
Yeah, do they do
because
it
they have a good
at-
group going in there every
at night,
day.
they have, at night, they have people there usually?
No,
Or?
no.
Okay.
But I mean, if you have a coordinator there
Yeah.
that will be able to open for you,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, it's something to think about.
yeah, probably you could grab a couple more people because they used to go to the center.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right. Yeah. No. We'll
you're
have to-
good. You always had coffee and donuts
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
no, we
So
always
you
had-
all
yeah.
set with that.
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
did that. I
Yeah.
did that for the first time now
Yeah, yeah.
because I knew I was going to have a lot of
Yeah,
people.
no, I know. No, I hear what you mean. So yeah, maybe we'll have to take a look at that. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
It's a
so-
good idea. But
Very good. So what else? Campaigning.
campaign season,
Campaign
right?
season.
Yep, campaign season. We see it all coming out right now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, and I don't think I'm ever going to see this in Fall River. I want people to do things, but don't do them during the election year, and that's what I've seen happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take your meeting for example.
Mm-hmm.
I saw people that I've never seen at meetings before.
Mm-hmm.
Some politicians. So that frustrates me. You know what I mean? Because we're also here outside of the election season. So, so I'd
I
like
was
to.
kind of surprised. I didn't see many people there.
You had a few people. You had maybe one or two that you would rarely see at all the meetings. I'm not saying They, you know what I mean? But there's one person I never saw at any kind of neighborhood meetings. And you know how I was. I attend them as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the only thing that bothers me with this, you know. And I want to see someone that's going to listen to people. And unfortunately, we've kind of run, you know, it's the old saying, we had all these old timers, and you hear it's like the old boys club. I think it's the old boys and girls club, all right? But now we have the new boys and girls club.
Yeah.
And you hear of the new boys and girls complaining about the old boys and girls. They're exactly the same, sometimes worse.
It's politics.
Yeah, sometimes they're worse because these kids in this younger generation, and I can attest to it, you can, because you have younger kids, or, you know, kids in their 20s and 30s that they don't want to hear your input. You know what I mean? They think that I'm from this generation, I know what's right.
All.
Yeah, they know all. You know what I mean? Where people weren't like that when you and I were younger in your 30s.
But
we
what I
sit
tell
there.
my daughters is like this. All we know
Yeah,
was not from computers and
Yeah.
phones.
yeah. No, you're right.
It was from books.
Yeah, it was from books.
That we had to learn.
Yeah.
That we had to read, that we had to study.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Right now, you know everything because you press a button and you got the answer.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just even it's the whole life experience.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was talking to a younger kid the other day, 30. I'm going to do this real quick, but they were talking about this is the American dream here.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, especially these kids that are under 30, under 40, under 35, no longer think this country's great anymore. They don't think this country's great. And I kind of understand where they're coming from. Housing prices are crazy. You know, the jobs are, you know what I mean, they're sporadic kind of thing. I get that. But there's just that pessimism there. And I just don't know how, you know what I mean, how we would change that. But anyway, that's how I got off on a tangent with that.
And responsibility.
Yeah.
A kid, when I was 21, I was more responsible than a kid with 21 today.
Yeah. Oh, by far. By far.
And
I mean,
responsibility. It's like whatever it is what it is.
Yeah,
And
but you try to tell kids. When I look at when I was 21, I was in the military in Oklahoma, married, drove halfway across the country by myself, you know, with my wife at the time, you know, still married. And you just did that. 21-year-old. I can't imagine my daughter when she was 21 doing that, or even a lot of kids that are 21. I know a few. I have a couple of cousins that have done stuff like that, but on the whole, no, they wouldn't do it. But it was a different world back then. You know what I mean? Our parents really didn't have the opportunity to baby their kids like we've probably done, you know, and whether that's good or bad.
well, I got married with 21.
Yeah, so-
I made a big change in my life moving over here.
Yeah. How
with
old were you?
21.
You
I
were
was 21.
So you left the country like I
Yes.
did. I just left an area.
Yeah,
You left
I left the
a
country at 21 with
Yeah.
the responsibility now with the wife,
Yeah.
you know, and the responsibility that I had to build a life for us and a house for us.
Yeah.
And
that's
I
tough.
did it, but I'm afraid my daughter just to go to Six Flags. You know, I'm afraid her driving just to go to Six Flags. Never mind, you know, moving a country.
Yeah. No, I know, but things are different now, and I think it's got to go back the other way. Kids are adults. We have to start treating them that way, and you know what I mean. I think a lot of kids are good. You know what I mean, are getting good at it, but I find more so you know everything.
And I think we had
and this
more.
is people that I work with. I work with kids that are 35, and it's like there are a lot of good ones, but there are a lot of them that think they want to tell me, and it's like I've been doing this for 30-something years.
I think our generation had that proud thing.
Yeah.
You know, that we have to make it. I
Yeah.
don't want to look back. I don't want to ask for help.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
need to make it, and I will do anything that I can to make it.
Yeah.
With today, it's not this. If there's a work, my dad, it's just a phone call away.
Yeah, and it works both ways. I get it. It's a whole different world we're running
Yep.
in with jobs and all this other stuff. Everything's sent to China, different world. But
Well-
with that,
Well, that's another week. Thank you. Was half an hour, and I see you next week. Thank you, John.
yep. Thanks. Have a good night now.